to the next player we're going to talk about. We're going to go to Ryan Dunn from Virginia, a guy who, when I put the numbers up on the screen, if people haven't seen them, they're going to be looking at these and going, that is pretty mind-blowing. Some of these defensive stats are actually out of control. Why isn't this sort of a player going high? He's 21 years of age. He's 6'7". He averaged 3.7 blocks per 40, 2.1 steals. Low usage player, 17%. Doesn't take many threes. But defensively, as a 6'7" forward, like blocking shots like he's a center, providing perimeter chaos is huge. And yeah, people love that sort of stuff in the college setting as well. He puts up these huge performances. In general, he's getting mocked in the second round. He can't really shoot at all. I'll throw out again the lazy man, which is me, the casual fan player comp. It's in terms of the shape of defensive stats, size a little bit different. Matisse Thybulle's got a role in the NBA as this guy who came out of college with incredible perimeter block stats, unbelievable steal numbers, couldn't shoot at all. Where do we differ here?
Yeah, this one. So Ryan Dunn remains one of my hardest scouts. Even this year on a team where he probably could have played a lot more, Thybulle only played 23 minutes. And really the best year to point to is in 2022 when the Sixers played him 25 minutes a game. But there's differences. Yes, both of them had shooting issues. Matisse Thybulle's shot worlds better. And on top of that, he also was a much better playmaker. At this point, Ryan Dunn is a finisher at the rim on offense, and that is it. His shot is really, really far away. I saw him at the Combine in person last week, and there's no consistency on it, on his jump shot. There's really not that much touch. I really think you have to be comfortable playing him as like a 6'7", 6'8" center and a 1-5 defensively. And I just don't know if he really can get away with that. Like, yes, he is athletic and he will cut, but he's not going to win that much at the rim if he's going to be the center. Like, he's so much harder to fit into a lineup than Thybulle is.
Yeah. Because Thybulle's sort of, I guess, a willing shooter from three. Doesn't always go in, but he has shown the ability to take them and had some improvement in that area. But like Dunn's not taking many of them. He's just not doing, as my screen just goes really, really slow, he's just not doing enough, I guess, from an offensive perspective. So it is hard for me and as for you to see where it works, because those defensive numbers are absolutely eye-popping, and seeing those, the question I have, I guess, with Dunn, and we can translate this to a lot of prospects, because when you have a draft that is considered weaker like this one, you often see a lot of these older type prospects get pushed a little bit higher. And my theory on it often is, and people go, well, sometimes you can't just go the younger guy, you've got to take the older player, they're experienced and they can do it. But my thing is, if they were actually that good, they just would have come out earlier. And is it the reason that you're considering them now is because the crop of players that they're going up against is considerably weaker in other years, and they are using experience and physical maturity to create that advantage that makes them look better? Is that, like, how do you view these? Because there's a lot of, like, sophomores or juniors or 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds that might go in the top 10, which has a really, like, especially seniors and juniors, has a pretty poor record of working out. So how do you view that sort of thing as a general concept, and how does that apply to Ryan Dunn?
Yeah, I think in general, age matters a lot. The difference for a lot of teams between 21 and 22 is massive. For me, it's the experience. I don't know. Ryan Dunn, I think regardless of his age, I think he's going to be somebody that his leash is going to be short because that jumper. Not because of anything with age. He'll get more chances because he's only a sophomore. But I think in general, it just comes down to the chances. Like, if your margin for error gets thinner and thinner the older you get. Once you cross 21, things get harder.
I agree. And there's always easy ways to pick out, well, what about this guy? What about CJ McCollum going in the top 10? I go, yeah, but what about every other player that went in that area? And you are rife with that, and this is going to lead me into a Dalton Connect discussion at some point with another guest, is that when you're that age, I expect you to be dominating these 19, 18-year-old kids. And my thing is, if, like, yes, late bloomers do exist, but as a general rule, like these other guys have still got 4 years to catch up to where you are. Not necessarily 4 we're done, but it does lead to some interesting discussions, I guess, about the valuation of age and reducing the. I've got to also tell you that today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It's the easiest and the most exciting way as well to get in on the action while watching your favorite sports and favorite players. You just pick more than or less than between 2 to 6 individual player stats, bang them into a lineup, and there you go. You got your entry sorted. You can do that in the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the Major League Baseball season. I'm sure there's other things starting. Major League Soccer, I'm sure, is coming up. Disc golf season must be ready to kick off into full gear, and all that is going to happen over at PrizePicks. You can also win up to 100 times your money now as well with as little as 4 correct picks. $10 up to 1,000 if you get those 4 picks correct. So go and download the app and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for a first deposit match up to $100. Download the app. The app is PrizePicks,